The morning light is soft. A person sits at a desk before the day begins. In front of them is not a list of tasks to do, but a blank page. For years, this time was for answering urgent emails. It was for getting a head start on the day's work. Now, the purpose is different. It is a time for thinking. It is a time for quiet design. This is the subtle but profound shift from being an entrepreneur caught in the motion of doing to becoming a businessman, focused on the architecture of the work itself. The first is a life of action. The second is a life of intention. The entrepreneur is often a technician who has had an entrepreneurial seizure. They love the craft. They know how to make the product. They know how to deliver the service better than anyone else. So they start a business to do that work on their own terms. They become the central engine of the company. Every problem flows to them. Every decision requires their input. Designing the work is a fundamentally different activity. It does not ask, "What must I do today?" It asks, "How should this work be done every day, regardless of who is doing it?" The businessman steps back from the individual task. He looks at the entire flow of activity, from the first customer contact to the final delivery. Visual, input, process, output. He sees the business not as a place where he works, but as a product in itself. The goal is no longer just to satisfy one customer at a time. The goal is to build a system that can satisfy every customer in the same excellent way. This transition is not about abandoning the details. It is about elevating them into a blueprint. The entrepreneur solves a problem once, then moves to the next fire. The businessman solves a problem and then builds a process to prevent that fire from ever starting again. This requires a change in mindset from reactive to proactive. It demands a deliberate pause in the endless cycle of doing. It is in this pause that the business truly begins to be built. It moves from a reflection of one person's effort to a durable, independent entity. An entrepreneur runs on action. Action creates momentum. It feels productive. Answering 50 emails, fixing a broken piece of equipment, personally closing a big sale, all provide a sense of immediate accomplishment. This momentum is vital in the early days. It is the raw force that gets a business off the ground. It proves the concept. It wins the first customers. It generates the initial cash flow. The entrepreneur learns everything by doing. They become an expert in every facet because they've performed every task themselves, over and over. This hands-on approach builds valuable knowledge. The founder understands the customer's needs intimately because they have spoken to them directly. They know the product's flaws because they have fixed them personally. This is the stage of learning by doing, and it is honest and necessary. However, this reliance on personal action has a clear and unavoidable limit. The business can only grow as large as the founder's capacity to do more. Their 24 hours in a day become the ultimate bottleneck. The business's success is directly tied to the founder's presence, creating a job, not an asset. The currency of the entrepreneur is momentum. Momentum is like pushing a heavy flywheel. It takes immense effort to get it started, but once it is spinning, it carries itself forward for a time. Yet, it constantly needs another push to keep it going. If the entrepreneur stops pushing, by taking a vacation, getting sick, or simply wanting to focus on something new, the flywheel slows down. The business falters. This creates a state of perpetual busyness. The founder works inside the business as its most critical component, rather than on the business as its designer. This cycle of constant action creates a powerful illusion of progress. The businessman, or the business architect, seeks a different kind of force: leverage. Leverage is the opposite of brute force. A lever lets you move a heavy object with minimal effort. In business, leverage is any tool, process, system. While the entrepreneur pushes the flywheel directly, the businessman builds a motor to turn it. The motor works consistently and predictably, whether the businessman is there or not. This is the core distinction between working for the business and owning it. Consider the contrast between momentum and leverage. Momentum requires continuous energy input. Leverage requires an upfront investment of design and thought that then produces repeated results with little effort. A well-trained employee is leverage. A clear documented procedure is leverage. A piece of software that automates a recurring task is leverage. The businessman spends time creating these levers. They might spend a week designing a customer onboarding process that will save 10 hours of work every week forever. Move from working in the business to working on it. Working in the business means making the sales calls, packing the boxes, answering the support tickets. Working on the business means designing the sales script, creating the packing checklist, writing the support knowledge base. As simple systems are built, the need for clear roles emerges. A business cannot run on checklists alone. It needs people to execute them. One person cannot and should not do everything. The next step in designing the business is to separate tasks into logical groups, creating distinct roles. Think of these roles as positions on a team, like marketing, sales, fulfillment, customer service. At first, the founder may hold all these roles, but the act of defining them is critical. It clarifies what work needs to be done. With roles defined, you can begin to assign them. This may involve hiring a new person or training an existing employee. The key is to match a person to a role and provide them with the systems they need to succeed. A role without a system is a recipe for failure. You are asking someone to guess how to do their job. A system without a clearly assigned role will not be followed. When you hire someone for a role, you are not just hiring a person, you are hiring them to run a system. The training process becomes simple. You hand them the manual for that system. Financial design is an equally important part of this structural shift. The entrepreneur often thinks about revenue day to day, chasing the next sale to cover immediate costs. The businessman designs the financial model for the long term. This means understanding and planning for cash flow, not just profit. It involves pricing products and pricing services to include a healthy margin that allows for reinvestment. It means building financial forecasts and creating cash buffers to withstand slow periods. The goal is to move from financial reaction to financial strategy, reducing panic and increasing stability. These systems and roles are held together by the business's culture. A calm, system-oriented business is built on calm, clear habits. Meetings are short, structured, and have a clear purpose. Reports are simple and focus on the few metrics that truly matter. Communication is direct and unemotional. People are praised for following and improving the process, not for heroic last-minute saves. This culture reinforces the idea that the system is the solution. The founder leads this by example, demonstrating discipline, clarity, and trust in the processes they have designed.